So, when you walk into a massive sports bar or like past one of those towering synchronized video walls in an airport, you probably just look at the screens and assume someone plugged a really long HDMI cable into the back of a TV.
Right, yeah. I mean, the illusion is that it's simple. We just expect perfectly timed video on dozens of displays at once. But behind the curtain, it's really not a single cable.
Yeah, it's actually this heavily armored, incredibly complex networking landscape. And today's deep dive is about exactly how that invisible architecture works.
Exactly. We are looking at a specific piece of hardware from our sources today. It's the Vitec AVSTR-E3830 HDCP-32 encoder from HDTV Supply.
Which completely changes how video gets from point A to point B, right?
Okay, let's unpack
Okay.
this.
Think about it like taking a fully assembled sports car. That's your massive uncompressed HDMI video.
Right, which is huge data-wise.
Right. So you break it down into standardized shipping boxes, send those boxes down a normal highway, and instantly reassemble the car perfectly at, well, 32 different destinations at once.
That's a great way to put it. And what's fascinating here is that instead of running dedicated, super expensive video cables everywhere, this VTech encoder puts the video right onto a building's existing IP network.
Because raw HDMI data would just like instantly choke a standard network pipe.
Oh, absolutely. It would crash it.
Yeah.
Compression is exactly what the H.264 standard does. The encoder crushes that data down into tiny, manageable IP packets.
So it can flow alongside normal web and email traffic without causing a bottleneck. But wait, what about copyright protection?
Right, the HDCP issue.
Yeah, because you can't just split a protected HDMI signal 32 ways. I mean, usually the source device just freaks out and shuts off the video, right?
It does. And that is the real magic of this encoder. It handles the HDCP 2.2 cryptographic handshake directly with the source.
Oh, wow. So the source just thinks it's talking to one highly secure display.
Exactly. Then the encoder legally and securely rewraps that video stream and distributes it to up to 32 different IP endpoints simultaneously, all at a crisp 1080p resolution.
I have to challenge this, though. Breaking down a 1080p video, encrypting it, firing it across an IP network to 32 different screens, and reassembling it, doesn't that introduce massive latency?
It's a huge risk, yeah.
Yep.
Latency is the absolute enemy of AV over IP.
Right, because in a sports bar, a 2-second delay means half the room cheers for a touchdown before the other half even sees the snap.
Which is exactly why hardware like this doesn't just plug and play. If we connect this to the bigger picture, you need ultra-low latency encoding, which requires incredibly precise setup. If your network switches aren't configured perfectly for multicast traffic, the whole system just stutters or crashes.
Which completely explains why businesses aren't just buying this off a big box store shelf. I mean, is it even realistic for them to manage this without a massive IT team?
Usually no. They rely on specialized vendor ecosystems. Our sources highlight HDTV Supply, which is a retailer with a 25-year history. They act almost as external IT support for these exact kinds of high-stakes setups.
Yeah, they have, what, over 10,000 positive reviews?
Yeah, and there's this brilliant customer review from the HDTV Supply source material that perfectly captures the reality of this industry.
Oh, the unfriendly one.
Yes. A buyer gave them a 5-star rating because the staff instantly solved a complex resolution issue involving 1080p and 60 Hz settings. But the buyer specifically noted that the staff was less than friendly.
I love that so much. Just 5 stars for being unfriendly.
It's great. It proves that in heavy-duty AV networking, precise technical solutions matter way more than bubbly customer service. You don't need a best friend on the phone. You need an engineer who knows how to route a protected signal.
Without introducing that dreaded latency we talked about.
Yeah.
So next time you are sitting in a sports bar having a drink or walking past a synchronized video wall in a lobby, you'll know exactly what kind of heavy-duty network encoding is quietly working behind the scenes.
You'll picture those standardized shipping boxes of data zipping across the network to build the image you're looking at. But, putting video on a standard IP network introduces a whole new variable.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, if these Vitec encoders are essentially turning sensitive, high-value protected video into standard network traffic, what happens to the physical security of that video?
Oh, right. If it's on the network, it can potentially be intercepted.
Exactly.
As AV over IP takes over, how long until we see massive cybersecurity breaches where hackers don't steal data but literally hijack the screens around us? Just something to think about next time you're staring at the wall.